Real quick before this video starts, I would like to explain that all the footage that you're going to be seeing in this video is, the updated version of the game. While writing the script, the game was in a earlier update, and now it's in the newest update. So some of the stuff I say will be slightly outdated. For example, there's now one new wizard and one new spell, but rest of it should be roughly the same. I will be putting little indicators to what parts have already changed recently, but other than that, it's basically the same. Anyway, guys, enjoy the video. What's up, guys and gals? It's Edvin here. Welcome back to Edvin's Evaluation, where I give the evaluations to follow. Today we are grabbing our strongest spells and giving them major power boost and adding elements to them, as we work our way to defeating Solfish. If you are into exploring early access games on Steam, you may know this little game called Spell Brigade. That's what we're covering today. It's the Spell Brigade. Yeah, I'm not saying that the entire video.
You need to. That's the real name of the game.
Okay, whatever. Before we run into the evaluation, let me give some background info for this game. The Spell Brigade was released on September 16th, 2024 on Steam. It is an action roguelike game. Currently, it has not been released anywhere else as it is in early access. The game was developed and published by Bolt Blaster Games. Remind you before I fully start that this game is still in early access, so some things are bound to change or be added after this video drops. So if something I say is outdated, I apologize wholeheartedly to the developers and anyone who knows this game. Yet I think it's finally time to actually start the evaluation. As always, we'll start with the gameplay. Diving right into the gameplay, it feels smooth and simple, yet it does so amazingly due to the roguelike pieces of the game. The best way I can describe it is a top-down auto-firing action roguelike, which is honestly kind of common, but in this game there's a lot added to it. For example, you get access to several different elements throughout your gameplay along with several spells. What's even better is that if you get your spells to a certain level, you can combine elements to make your spells even stronger. When you get a good and fun combo, you'll be able to just enjoy yourself as you mow down the enemies. I'd go even deeper on the spells and elements, but just so I don't take up too much time, I'll keep it this simple. There are currently 16 spells and 5 elements. I will show them on screen, but not name them all. But also look at everything if you wish. Now we should really move on to the next topic, which is, how does this game look for its time? And honestly, for being released in 2024 and looking simple, it does look nice, especially after a good handful of updates, which give a nice overhaul to the graphics, which is really nice to see. Moving on to the creativity, which is a spot I actually kind of praise to a certain extent. Despite being early access, there's already so much to the game that is pretty damn creative. 12 characters with backstories, 3 areas to explore, 3 difficulties, 3 covenants, 16 spells, 5 elements, 13 enemies, and 1 boss, and co-op, all of which add to the creativity to this game. Not all of it is extremely creative, but it's creative and different enough than some other certain top-down roguelikes. Now, usually this is where I'd go into the full story of the entire game, but this is still early access, and I don't feel like explaining every character's backstory. So instead, if I remember, I'll put it in the description below, a link to the wiki of all the characters, so you can look at the backstories for yourself. Speaking of characters, let's get to all 12 of them, and then mention the current big boss they are facing. The way I'll be doing these characters is show them and say their names and their aliases. Reginald, the apprentice or new guy. Moon Mage, Moon Man or Banana. Caven, Kev, or why is he staring at me like that? Sun Mage, Sunny, Captain Sunstar, or Retina Roaster. Ludwig, Tin Can or No Leg Day. Campanelli, Clown or Bells. Hattie, Long Boy or Conehead. Wizard King, My Lord, or His Majesty Wizard King, the Magnum... Wizard King, My Lord, or His Majesty Wizard King, the Magnanimous. Star Mage, The Brightest, or Sasqueen. Eldrick, Big Man, or Aldi. Maggie, Drumsticks, or Crazy Eyes. And Bryony, Greens, or Sprout. And finally, let me just bring up the current boss, which is called Solfish. This is the only boss in the game. That is a good handful of characters, and all of them have their own stats and spells to set them apart from each other, which is a really nice thing to see in a roguelike. Now finally, we move on to the music, which is pretty good. There's no notes I really have. The menu music is just lodged into my brain though. As soon as I hear the start of it, I know what game I'm playing. So I guess they did a good job. Once again, dear viewers, we have made it to the end of the evaluation. Get ready for my final thoughts on the Spell Brigade. To start off, I will 100% recommend that if you have Steam, get $10 saved up and buy this game, especially if you like roguelikes, because even though it's early access, I know for a fact that the team behind this game is not going to stop on the updates. Bolt Blaster Games is even listening to the community that has been built surrounding this game, which makes me really happy to see. They're taking suggestions for new spells, new elements, new characters, and so on, which is amazing to me. Before I tell you guys to go and play this game for yourself, I would like to quickly give my own suggestion for this game. I hope somehow I can get this to Bolt Blaster Games. I would love to suggest something that me and my friend Hexta kept talking about, which is adding a light element to the game to counteract the dark element that was just added. Like, what if for a light element, it does the exact opposite of the dark element? Instead of controlling the other enemies, it would instead just confuse them, causing them to not attack you or their teammates. And what if you combine Dark and Light? You get Duality. With Duality, it confuse the enemies or turn them against their teammates with a 50-50 chance for each. That was just a quick suggestion that I hope they'd consider. Yeah, that's the end of another Edvin's evaluation. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also comment what you think of this game if you have it. Until next time, this has been Edvin, signing off.